Kristin, I have to ask you, are you free? Free at last?
Free at last.
Another school year under the belt. Now, I'm not going to lie. After 22 years in education, I do miss it sometimes. And I almost always taught through summer, which were some of my favorite sessions for no other reason. That's when I taught history of Disneyland, which I'm bringing back this summer, of course, online. It was just like yesterday. I was doing a kickoff event for a massive charter school here in Southern California for the brand new school year that was then 2025, 2026, and it's over. What are your summer plans?
My summer plans are to spend as much time out by the pool as possible. And I'm actually going on my very first cruise. And I would say for years, I would never go on a cruise. The idea did not excite me because everything that's offered on a cruise, we've got here in Las Vegas. We've got water parks, we've got casinos, right? We've got pools. Why? But I guess they've come a long way with cruise ships. Like they're pretty nice.
There is nothing better. And I'm going to be brutally honest.
Okay.
I hate Vegas.
I know. So do I.
And when it comes to summertime, I really, really, really hate Vegas. If I had the choice between going to a Disney park or going on a cruise, and it doesn't even have to be a Disney cruise, I'm taking the cruise. So I cannot wait for you and Eric to get back and give the full review. But in between,
Yep.
you got some feedback from your students, right?
I did. In fact,
A little that'll work action.
a lot of that'll work. In fact, behind me, I've got card after card after card after card. And today we actually had our 8th grade promotion ceremony, graduation. And I swore I wasn't going to cry. That didn't last very long. It was so amazing to see some of my students, especially writers. As an English teacher, I have taught them the importance of believing in their story, that their story matters, the power of showing up. And some of them actually got to share their speech in front of everybody, that very same message. And a lot of them talked about the 4 C's. They had no idea that the 4 C's existed in this capacity. But as I'm sitting there listening to these speeches, I'm hearing confidence, I'm hearing courage, I'm hearing constancy, I'm hearing curiosity. And it was just so encouraging to know there is hope for the next generation of dreamers out there. And as an educator, like those are the gifts that you just can't quite stick in a bag.
Yeah. Funny enough, and I haven't even shared this with you, I got a text message from a gentleman that Lindsay and I met when we were coming back from a speaking engagement in Indianapolis last September. And we were changing planes and somehow struck up a conversation, which, as you know, is very rare for me. Happens all the time for you, very rare for me.
I know.
And we exchanged phone numbers, and he listens to the podcast. He was on the 4 C's webinar, and he shared with me that constancy is like his new favorite word. And he sends out a little encouragement memo to his team every morning. And he was like, your content, whether it's the podcast, whether it's Mornings on Main Street, Wednesdays with Walt, or whatever, fuels the content that he's been sharing with his team, which I think is amazing. So it's great to see your students responding, right? And then here's a guy that Lindsay and I met in the Nashville airport of all places, and he's making a difference with the content all the way up in Oregon. So yeah, you can't go wrong with curiosity, confidence, courage, and constancy.
Right. If it worked for Walt, it's sure going to work for us, right?
Well, what doesn't work for me is one of my mother's phrases, because I've been on this tangent the entire month of May, season of the forest, right? Phrases from my mom that still stick in my head. A place for everything and everything in its place. Last week, the kitchen is closed. And then this week, toy time is over. And a place for everything and everything in its place. I even as a young kid, I might not have liked it, but I understood it.
Right.
And, the kitchen is closed. It says toy time is over. Toy time should never be over. And interestingly enough, I was reminded of that on Sunday because Lindsay and I had an opportunity to go to Disneyland. We rope dropped Hyperspace Mountain. Space Mountain's my all-time favorite attraction. Hyperspace Mountain is my all-time favorite version of my all-time favorite attraction. And then we had breakfast with a Wisdom of Walt fan, Jason Minsky, who lives up in the Sacramento area. And he had gotten us tickets to go to the Castle Peak and Thunder Railroad in Anaheim Hills. And I'd heard about this place for several years, but had never actually gone, didn't even have a clue as to how to go.
Hmm.
And off we went, right? And so part of me is like, okay, well, we had our fun and we went to Disneyland, and Sunday afternoon is, a time to think about the next week and get ready for the
Right.
next week. And, here we are in, this model railroad backyard, which, if I were a kid would be my ideal backyard.
Right.
And funny enough, Jason of all people, in response to the Kitchen is Closed article, when I said next week's phrase is toy time is over, had texted me, toy time is never over. And there I was on Sunday afternoon with him living that out. And so again, my mom wasn't wrong, but I don't
Right.
think she was right either. And so, finding that balance between work and play, joy and responsibilities. And Sunday was a lot of fun. And it was a reminder to find fun. Mary Poppins reminds us of this, right?
Yep.
To find fun in everything that we do. And I can remember, I talked about this in the article, my syllabus or syllabi in higher education always had, requirements and standards if you wanted to pass or excel in the course.
Sure.
The last one was have fun. Because
As it
if you're
should.
not having fun, what's the point,
What are we
right?
doing? Yep.
You're only here for so long, so you might as well enjoy it. So, um, yeah, we need boundaries. And, we need to make sure that our responsibilities are taken care of. I don't think we have to compartmentalize play and we don't have to compartmentalize fun as
No.
rigidly as my mother, God rest her soul, always did.
Right. And I think spot on for that. I sent you the video earlier this week of on one of our final exam testing days, we started out the day first thing in the morning with a dance off. And I had
Yeah,
the music playing and I was dancing all around the classroom. And because I took initiative to make sure at the beginning of the year, 9 months ago, that I built a positive, safe climate, fostered creativity, and made people feel like it's okay to make yourself look kind of stupid right now because you're among friends. Everyone chimed in. Everybody was dancing. I had
love
people
it.
walking in tardy doing a little cha-cha on their way in. And so, yeah, you could be in the middle of final exams, but it's still okay to dance. It's still okay to have fun. It's okay to keep dreaming.
Absolutely. And I loved that video so much. I think I challenged you to post it on social media, which I don't believe you've done. So
No.
here's an invitation. If you want to see Kristin dancing, I've still got the video. Reach out to me. I will send it to you personally.
Man, all right. Challenge accepted. I guess I'm going to have to go make a pretty epic post on that. Just
I love it.
We'll see you guys real soon. Take care.